So Lily is in my lap if you see anything weird going on. So today I have swatches of the Essie Retro Revival collection. There are 6 polishes in this collection. They're pretty much available everywhere online right now, but they aren't officially set to release until January. There are 6 polishes here that are all re-releases of older Essie collections. They range from like the very first Essie collection ever, which was from like 1981, all the way to I think 2005 is the most recent one. So I got them from nailpolishcanada.com. They shipped to me in Michigan for free, and I think I had them within like 3 days. That's where I got mine. I know a few people are finding them some other places. So yeah, 6 polishes in this collection, and I will get into the swatches. So the first polish is called Birthday Suit. This was originally released in 1981 as part of the first rollout of Essie polishes. This is a light kind of beige nude color. It is one of those sheer, you will see the nail line kind of polishes. Here's one coat. So this one is pretty sheer on the first coat. This does not build up to completely opaque, even on 3. Formula, it wants to run just a little tiny bit down the sides of my nail if I do my coats too thick. So here's 2 coats. This one is starting to build up a little bit. It's still not covering completely even. That's one of the issues that I have with these kind of sheer polishes. I think that they're great if they cover evenly. I think they look gorgeous. But when they're uneven and prone to streaking like this, they're really hard to work with. So here's 3 coats. So this one does even out a bit more on 3 coats. You can still see the nail line. You would probably have to add another coat or just keep going if you wanted it 100% even, but 3 coats isn't terrible. So there is 3 coats of Birthday Suit. So the next polish is Cabana Boy. This is a light, almost taupe-like gray with a silver, like pearl shimmer. So here's 1 coat. This one is a bit streaky and a little bit sheer on the first coat. Formula feels good though, smooth, easy to apply. This one doesn't feel like it wants to run at all. So here's 2 coats. So this one is still a bit uneven on the second coat. It's not terrible, but I'm going to do a third. And as this starts to get more opaque, you can start to see brush strokes. This one and the last one did dry pretty shiny though. So here's 3 coats. And this one covers completely in 3, but it does have a lot of brush strokes and not very many of them disappear when it dries. You can apply that last coat with a sponge though, and that will help get rid of those brush strokes. So there is 3 coats of Cabana Boy. The next polish is Sequin Sash. This was originally released in 2005. This is kind of a frosty, pinky nude with a little bit of silver micro glitter mixed in. It's very sparse. So here's 1 coat. This one is very sheer on the first coat. Formula on this one is good though. It stays where you put it. Doesn't want to run down the sides of the nail. So here's 2 coats. So this one is starting to build up, but it is still pretty sheer on 2. I kind of want to know who they asked about to decide that these were the favorite polishes to bring back. Because I'm looking at these, I'm trying to figure out exactly whose favorites these were. So here's 3 coats. So you can still see through this one to my nail line a little bit on 3 coats, and it does have some pretty bad brush strokes. I still would have really liked to see Essie bring back that neon yellow that they had a few years back. So there is 3 coats of Sequin Sash. The next polish is Bikini with a Martini. This was originally released in 2006. This is a pink with a pearl kind of shimmer finish to it, and it also feels like it has a flash, like an almost slightly orange flash if you catch it in the right light. So here's 1 coat. This one is pretty sheer on the first coat. Formula feels a little bit thin, like it might want to run down the sides of your nail if you're not careful, so I'm trying to do thinner coats to avoid that. So here's 2 coats. This one is still pretty sheer on the second coat, so I'm going to do 3. This one, because it's so sheer, I think it might be a good topper to kind of add that pink flash to another polish. So here's 3 coats. This one is still pretty sheer on the third coat, but you can start to see that pink on the nail a lot better. This one has some bad brush strokes when you're first applying it, but they do disappear as it dries, for the most part. I'd say like 90% of them disappear as it dries. So there is 3 coats of Bikini with a Martini. The next polish is called Life of the Party. This was originally released in 2002. This is kind of like a brick red shimmer. So here's 1 coat. Compared to the other ones, this one covers really well on the first coat. It is going to need two because it's a little bit light still. It might be a little bit darker than Brick Red. This one has a great formula, smooth, easy to apply. It doesn't want to run or pool anywhere. So here's two coats. So this one covers completely in two. Depending on your application, you might end up needing three, but I don't think that's very likely. This one does show brush strokes pretty well. I'd say about half of them do disappear as it dries, but a few of them are going to stay. So there is two coats of Life of the Party. The last polish is the one that everyone is the most excited about, and this is Starry Starry Night. This is a deep blue jelly base with silver micro glitter. I don't have the original to compare. The original did come out in 1985. I've heard 1985 and I've heard 1997. I think it was released twice, but Essie's promo shots at least showed it as 1985. I don't have that one to compare, but I will link a couple blog posts down below in the description box that compared this to the original, and it's really, really important that you guys see those because that is a major part of the review here. It seems that this is not really close to the original at all. The glitter is much larger. I think it was more of like a finer silver, like diamond dust, I believe is how I've heard it referred to in the original polish, and the color is a little bit off as well. So I'll link those down below because it's kind of important to check those out because I don't think this is as big of a deal as Essie made us think it was because it's not really that original polish. So here's one coat. This one covers pretty well on the first coat. That glitter distributes pretty evenly. The formula on this one is fantastic though. I've heard a few people say that their bottles were a little bit goopy, but mine has been perfect so far. So here's two coats. This one covers completely in two. One nice thing about this glitter in this base is that the glitter kind of takes on two different colors as the jelly gets layered over top of it. This one will dry a tiny bit gritty, not terrible, but you still will want a top coat. So there is two coats of Starry Starry Night. So here's the deal with my favorites. Starry Starry Night is my favorite just because the other ones are frostier. I'm not a big fan of frosty polishes. Starry Starry Night is my favorite because of the way that it looks. I like the blue, I like the glitter, I like it much more than the other five. I also really do like Birthday Suit because I do like these more sheer polishes. I just wish it covered a little bit more evenly so I wouldn't have to do three coats. I do like Starry Starry Night. However, I'm like super incredibly bummed that this isn't really that close to the original Starry Starry Night. It feels like kind of a cop-out. Like, everyone's freaking out about it. It's sold out everywhere. People are buying 2-3 bottles of it, but it's not the same polish. It's not the one that someone paid $700 for on eBay, which good for that person, because if I were that person and they came out with an exact dupe of it for, you know, $8.50, I'd be pissed. So if I were the person that paid $700 for it, I'd be breathing easy right now because it's not the same polish. I do like it. I do like it best out of the 6, but I'm also kind of bummed about it. So that is the Essie Retro Revival collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later.